Welcome back to Season 2 of Tusk Traditions. A new athletic and academic year is about to start down in Tuscaloosa, so we are getting ready to start up Season 2 of Tusk Traditions. Took the summer off, just kind of enjoyed summer. Big Braves baseball fan, so enjoyed getting to watch some Braves baseball. They're still playing good baseball, so hopefully that continues into Alabama football season and a little bit maybe even basketball season. How well the Braves can play, we'll see. But enough of the Braves. It's all going to be about Alabama football. We're less than a month away. September 5th cannot come soon enough. So today I want to go over the schedule in general, all 12 games, kind of do a game-by-game small mini breakdown, go over some question marks that we have on offense right now, QB battle, who's it going to be, and then talk about how solid the defense looks, how the approach is probably going to change this year, given the X and O's and the personnel we have, I think can kind of send the defense in a new direction. Just getting to the obvious, we're running back, the same coaching staff. Offensive coordinator is still going to be Ryan Grubb, defensive coordinator is Kane Womack, and head coach Kalen DeBoer. So nothing, no big changes as far as those three coaching positions go. But, the new thing, the biggest thing we want to talk about is the QB battle. I've said since last year, since, we got him to sign, that I thought this was Keenan Russell's job to lose. I still think that. I haven't fully got away from that. But just what I'm hearing out of, fall camp, all the summers, Austin Mack looks pretty good. So, I don't know. It seems like Austin Mack has got a little bit more of the ones, whatever you want to call it. There really is no true one in a QB battle in fall camp. But it seems like that's been a little bit more his direction. So, as of right now, looks like Austin Mack might have the slight edge. So we'll see. That is Kalen DeBoer's guy from Washington. He's been with Kalen DeBoer. He kind of understands, what's going on with his system, what he likes, what he needs, and what, how he kind of operates an offense. So he had a huge leg up. I just, watching film and seeing the raw talent that Keenan Russell had, it's just hard to deny that. Really good problem to have. You want to have two, high-level quarterbacks. So I think, the first round of the Heisman, poll odds, I think they were both in top 25, maybe somewhere around that. At least top 40, something like that. So both of them. So they haven't even named a starter yet. So that's pretty cool. So that's the quarterback battle we have going on right now. Wide receivers, had some unfortunate news last A-Day with Ohio State transfer Noah Rogers going down with a knee injury. Got an update in fall camp from Coach DeBoer that good or bad news, kind of how you want to take it. We'll miss the start of the season, but is expected to eventually join the team. No set return date, but he was kind of that wide receiver 3 spot. So now, all good teams have a next man up mentality. So that's going to be apparent now. It gives, people like Derek Meadows a chance. He kind of burst onto the scene last year a little bit, making some crucial plays. You might remember him. He took a really bad and hard hit versus Missouri. So, that guy, is right now, I bet would be the third option. Some younger guys, or, some transfer portal guys. But, you got Ryan Williams at the 1. Hopefully we have a bounce back year. We'll see. If you've watched the channel, you watched me last year, especially towards the end with the playoffs in that Georgia game. I've talked about my frustrations with the performance on the field from him. And then, that wide receiver 2 guy, potential to vault to that wide receiver 1 is Latsier Brooks. We've seen him make really big plays last year in the playoffs, so expect a really big year out of him. I got a lot of, hope that he can burst onto the seams and have a really good year, put up some good numbers, and help whoever the quarterback's going to be out. Whoever it is, they're both talented at the quarterback position. They're going to need the receivers to make some plays. So we're going to ask both of those, we're going to ask Ryan Williams to make some plays. Can we get back to that, 17-year-old making insane plays for Georgia in prime time? Can we get back to that kind of, the hype and that playmaking ability? So that would be what I look for this season. If that happens and we can get a connection going between, QB1 and Ryan Williams that resembles that, look out, because it's going to be something special. Tight ends, we got Danny Lewis Jr. and we got the Oklahoma State transfer Josh Ford. They're in a little bit of a battle right now. I think it's awesome. A lot of teams already have, this is our quarterback, this is our tight end. I think it's awesome to have so many different positions that are battling. Because, iron sharpens iron, so does one man sharpen another. That's just words of wisdom right there. So here you go with all these battles on offense that who's going to step up? Who's going to be in a battle and be like, I need to make more plays because I'm trying to, I want to play. I'm trying to get to the next level. who's going to be the guy to step up, and that's going to translate to the field. So that's kind of the offense as a whole. Really excited about it. Hopefully, if last season Ryan Grubb, it almost seemed like we lost creativity midway. After that South Carolina game, we're doing handoffs, running back tosses. After the handoff, go for 2-point conversion. So there was so much creativity, and then you get to the end where it's kind of like there wasn't much offensive scheme. And that has a lot to do with we couldn't do a good job up front blocking or holding any type of any type of time for Ty. So that had a lot to do with that. Expect the O-line to be better this year. Expect for more creativity back and make some plays. Both these quarterbacks we have are pretty mobile, so it'd be fun to watch. Defense, super excited about it. I think it's going to be lights out, really experienced group, especially on that back half. Last year, I felt like we were more of a soft coverage kind of team, keep everything in front of us. This year, expect the secondary just to be super experienced, super seasoned. You got Bray Hubbard, you got Keon Sabb, and you got Xavier Brown. Those guys have been making plays for 3+ years now. Big-time plays, too. So that I don't know if there's anyone better in all of college football in the secondary than those guys right there. So expect it now to be a more direct hands-on press. That allows guys like Yanzer Pierre to get in the backfield, make plays. If we're going to be hands-on, you can't hold hands-on forever. That's not how that defense is designed to work. It's designed to, let's clamp it up in that initial 2, 3, 4 seconds of the play, and we're going to expect our dogs up front to get home and disrupt the play. I think that's an awesome defense to watch. It's fun to watch as a fan's perspective. Look forward to a lot of that this season. I think it's going to be really fun. I think our defense is going to be a strength of this team. Might carry us through a few games, but that's going to be fun to watch. So as far as the offense and defense goes, that's kind of really quick, few-minute talk about mini session what we got going on. I'll get more in detail the closer we get. Still a month out. Things could change. New names could emerge. We might even have a quarterback finalized by the time we get to the next video here before the season starts. Now that that's kind of done, I'm going to go through the season now, kind of game by game. I'm not going to do in-depth breakdown, but just kind of like what I think right now, given all the information we have about our team, the other teams, what I think is going to happen. I have the right to change my mind later in the season. There's some teams on here that might be different. Come week 8 for 6 A&M, they might be different than what I think right now. So I have the right to change my mind. But right now, on August the 9th, here's how I think our season is going to go. Week 1, we got Eastern Carolina at 11 a.m. It's going to be hot. This is a game I'm going to try to go to, obviously. It's going to be really hot. The biggest thing for me in this game is who's going to jog out there. Our first offensive possession to be QB1. That's going to be the one that if I had to pinpoint something, a talking point about this game, it's going to be who's running out there as quarterback. Expect a big win no matter who runs out there as quarterback. I think that we're just more talented than them. They're making a lot of noise on Instagram. I don't know if y'all seen the I guess it was their cornerback defensive player. I don't know who it was pointing to our name and was posting on social media like they're ready for us. So that adds to it. It's fun. I love that. I think it's fun about whatever we can do there. And so then week 2 is going to be at Kentucky, another game that doesn't really scare me. It's going to be 2:30. That Kentucky team hasn't been good since I can even remember. I was going to come up with a date. They haven't been good since here, but got to go back to the Cash Daniels days. I mean, if you remember him, he was their big metal linebacker who wore he broke his arm, wore a club. That was the last time I remember them being pretty good. Week 3 is FSU. It's a revenge game. It's going to be at 2:30 at home. The FSU team doesn't look very good right now on paper. Who really knows? But as if I was a betting man, I don't think they're going to be any good. Week 3 either versus us at home. Week 4 is our first, I think, true test. It's going to be South Carolina at home. And if you remember the last 2 seasons, they've had our number. I mean, they should have beat us both times. Should have beat us at home when they got the 2-point conversion. And they got the onside kick and had a chance to go win the game. And then they definitely should have beat us last year. Took some heroics late from Ty and some, like I said, offensive creativity from Ryan Grubb to steal that game back from them last year at South Carolina. So we got to play them again at home. It's gonna be a night game. Expect that to be a great atmosphere. My best friend growing up, and he's a big South Carolina fan. So hopefully me and him get out to that game. That'll be really fun. Next game's gonna be at Mississippi State. Kind of like the Kentucky game. Just don't see them being very good again. I feel bad for those fans, but I just don't see that being very. It's not a tough place to play. And, you get past those cowbells, and it's really not that bad. That should be at 11 or 2:30. Just not really concerned with that one either. So right now, we would be 5-0, Week 6, home, night game versus Georgia. That's going to be just insane. Whenever these two powerhouse programs get together, it's pretty insane. It's a great matchup. Expect college game day. Expect them to be undefeated. Expect a, just big-time atmosphere, playoff feeling. Played them twice last year, split the season series 1-1, but if you ask me, they won it because, A, they won the bigger game, and they beat us pretty good. So we owe them one, if you ask me. They're going to come in. It's going to be a night game. I expect a really good game. Our defense, like I said, is going to have to really step up. It's one of those toss-up games as of right now. I do expect Georgia maybe to come out with a win in this game as of right now. So that would be our first loss as we're going through the season right now. So expect 5-1. Expect a highly great game that could go either way. I'm not expecting you to get blown out. That's not at all what I'm saying. Just if we're going through the season right now, that would be our first loss. Okay, come back next week at Tennessee. Flex game. We have not played well there. Last 2 times we've had to go play there, we've lost. So it's going to be a really tough environment, but I don't expect to see the same Tennessee team that we've seen the last 2 years. That was a tongue twister. Same Tennessee team, last 2 years. Whew. But expect a bad Tennessee team, honestly, this year. I don't think they're going to be what they've been. They have Josh Heupel, so as long as they have him, expect them to be offensive-minded team that can make some big plays and make them quick. But I expect that to be a different team that we've seen the last few years. I expect a big win at Alabama, at Tennessee, and finally maybe we can get on a new streak again that we had for such a long time. Come back home, Texas A&M. It's going to be a flex game, so probably going to be 2:30, honestly. A lot of people are high on Texas A&M. I'm not. I didn't think they were very good last year, and I think it showed when it kind of mattered. They had a very, very favorable schedule, slipped by in a lot of games. I think about the South Carolina game where South Carolina was up, I think, 30 and lost the game 31-30. Whatever. They got exposed versus Texas, and honestly, I was cheering for them in that game because that would have meant we would have played them in the exchange game and not Georgia. And I think we all kind of saw the writing on the wall towards the end of last year, who we wanted to play, who we didn't want to play. I didn't want to play Georgia. I would much rather have played A&M last year. I think if we would have played them, we would have been SEC champs last year. So, didn't happen. Can't live in the past. But that game would be at home. I expect a solid win. I expect the defense to control that game. I'm not right now. I'm not scared of them. This is also why I said before I started going down the series, or the seasons, that I had the right to change my mind. I mean, they might be, 7-0 coming in this game, and they might be a lot different of a talk, and they might have a Heisman contending quarterback. I don't know. But as of right now, I'm not really scared. I think that's a big win. I think that puts us at, 7-1 going into a bye weekend. That's pretty good. I definitely take that. And then that bye weekend's going to get us prepped for at LSU. It says flex right now. I mean, go ahead and pencil it in as a night game in Death Valley. There's no way it's not going to be. That place is going to be rocking. That'd be an awesome game to go to. I've been able to go. I think the last time we played there, me and my girlfriend went. It was such a fun time because we just, had our way with the run game. Jalen Milroe was running all over the field for 4 touchdowns. It was awesome. So that's going to be a night game. I mean, go ahead and put that as a night game in your calendars. Expect another loss. Tough place to play. I think Lane Kiffin is going to immediately change what's going on down there. I think that's a really hard ask of a first-year starting quarterback. Whoever it is will have a little bit of experience. I think Tennessee's a tough place to play. I just don't think there's any place like a night game at LSU. So expect that to be the hardest atmosphere that we play this year, and I expect another loss. So then after that, right now we would be 7-2 at Vanderbilt. Yet again, kind of like Tennessee. Oh, lost a little power. Good thing we don't run on power in the show. So we're going to keep on going. Hopefully that's not a... Oh, here we come. I don't know. Hopefully that's not a bad trend for how our season is going to go. Hopefully not. But if it gets really bad at Vanderbilt, we can come back to this where the power went out. Also probably saying I got to hurry up. To keep going in and out. We'll keep rolling. Vanderbilt, I don't think it'll be as good as a team it's been. Not expecting them to be very good. That's going to be a big win for Alabama. That might be back to get into the old Vanderbilt teams. We'll see. Expect to win, and then you come home to Chattanooga. It's going to be a 1 p.m. game. It's going to be a tune-up game pretty much, getting ready to play Auburn. That's what I think. Auburn at home in the Iron Bowl. Expect an improved Auburn team. I think I like what the direction they're going. I think it was a good hire. He brought over a lot of his players from South Florida. I don't know how they're going to fare, or he's going to fare in the SEC their first year. They have a lot of really tough games. They're going to be beaten up pretty good come to the Iron Bowl. And, everyone's going to be in their place in the SEC. But if I was you, and I am me, I'm going to expect 7 in a row versus Auburn, and that's going to be a big-time Iron Bowl win, which would bring us to 10-2, and I think that's good enough to get you second or third in the SEC, and definitely into the playoffs for a second straight year. And I think that was good news. I said that Rising Lights came back on. We're going to wrap this up. So, Season 2, Episode 1 of Tusk Tradition is in the books now as we look forward to a new football season, a new basketball for women and men's, and then, get into baseball and softball. We'll be all Season 2 and all pushing on. But yeah, I'll see you next video. We're getting really close to football season, so roll tide.